The law of cosines to find an angle measure. We know that the law of cosines is c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c. But there's another alternate form, which is really the same thing, but just solve for capital C, aka the angle measure. Notice cosine inverse. The key thing to remember is that the c, as in the big C, which is the angle, and the little c, which holds a special place right here, being very first, have to be opposite of each other. So these are opposite of each other, or you're going to get yourself in trouble and find the wrong thing. So that being said, that would mean in order to do this, if you look at all the unknowns over here, you would need to know not one, not two, but all three sides of the triangle. So if we knew that, for instance, this side was 3, because it looks like 3, because I said so. This looks like 6, because it's longer, and this looks like 5, because it's a little shorter, then we could find any of the angles that we wanted to find. So let's just say, for argument's sake, that we wanted to find this angle here. Let's call it angle A. For some reason, some people get confused when we're asked to find an angle measure that's not a C. Yes, you can do that. So if I wanted to find this angle, I need to establish what is opposite to that angle, which would be the 5, and that would be the side that is going to go in for the quote-unquote C here in the equation, meaning my setup will look something like this. C equals the cosine inverse of a big messy fraction, specifically 5 squared, which has to be opposite the angle we're trying to find, minus, it does not matter which one you call A, which one you call B. You could go in order from lowest to highest, or however you want to do it. Same thing down here. It's going to be negative 2 times 3 times 6 if I'm aiming for consistency. And that is something that you could simplify. So if you're not using a graphing calculator, then you'd probably want to do that, because you'd have to figure out the cosine inverse of, well, 25 minus 9 minus 36, which is negative 20. So all I did was square and subtract, right? And then negative 2 times 3 times 6, which is 6 times 6, or negative 36. Little reality check. In order to find the cosine inverse, you have to be taking the cosine inverse of a number less than 1. And 20 divided by 36 will certainly fit that category. So when you do take the cosine inverse of negative 20 divided by negative 36, you get 56.251, or let's call it 56 degrees. So that means that this is 56 degrees. Now, you could then go on and use the law of sine. Well, you could use the law of cosines again to find another angle measure, subtract 180. You could even jump in and use the law of sine now that you have an angle and its opposite side. That's it.